Probably no modern person wonders which country produces these cars. The brand has rightfully taken the position of the largest car manufacturer on the planet. Its models have gained popularity and genuine affection among car owners thanks to true German quality, reliability, and thoughtful design. Volkswagen has long held leading positions in the global automotive industry, and that's no surprise. The company produces truly high-quality passenger cars, minivans, and trucks for clients with varying incomes and interests. Not even major scandals have shaken the fame of the European giant. Today we'll try to understand how the legendary Volkswagen was born and why the namesake group manufactures more than just these vehicles. How Hitler contributed to the brand's fame, the role of premium marques like Bugatti and Lamborghini, why the company built an entire town for its workers, what scandals nearly bankrupted Volkswagen, and how the brand became a global leader, surpassing BMW and Mercedes. And this is the story of Volkswagen. Let's go! Volkswagen is an automaker with a relatively recent history, determined by a meeting in 1933 between Adolf Hitler, Daimler-Benz representative Jakob Werlein, and Porsche founder Ferdinand Porsche. At Berlin's Kaiserhof Hotel, Hitler gave his counterparts a clear task: to create a sturdy, affordable people's car that an average German could afford. The price had to be no more than 1,000 Reichsmarks. Hitler insisted the engineers build a plant symbolizing the prosperity of the Third Reich. He even sketched out a design with key specs, and then turned to Werlein for a recommendation on a designer. Werlein suggested Porsche without hesitation. The car was named Volkswagen, which translates to people's car. Porsche immediately got to work, and by the 17th of January, 1934, he had drawings for a prototype based on the previously developed Porsche Typ 64. The drawings were sent to the Reich Chancellery, where they were reviewed until June, after which a contract was signed to build 3 trial vehicles. The entire process was allotted 10 months, with a monthly budget of 20,000 Reichsmarks. Specific requirements were set for the car: 5 seats, body width of 1,200 mm, wheelbase of 2,500 mm, engine power of 26 horsepower, max RPM of 3,500, weight of 650 kg, and a target cost of 1,550 Reichsmarks. It also needed to reach speeds of up to 100 km per hour, have enough power to climb a 30-degree slope, and consume no more than 8 liters per 100 km. Despite his experience and having a ready-made design, Porsche did not meet the deadline. He completed the order in 2 years. By September 1936, the first Volkswagen Beetle prototypes appeared, a 2-door Bug. The first, a convertible made specifically for Hitler. The second, and a 4-seater version, the third. The cars underwent endurance testing, covering 50,000 km without any major defects being found. Porsche was commissioned to produce another 30 prototypes, which were manufactured at the Daimler-Benz plant. Testing was handled by the Nazi labor organization DAF, while final oversight and the decision on mass production were made by SS personnel. Volkswagen officially traces the beginning of its history to May 28, 1937, when a limited liability company was established to develop the German people's car. By the 16th of September, 1938, the company received its name, Volkswagen. On May 26 of that same year, the foundation stone was laid for the Volkswagen car factory near the German town of Fallersleben. Adolf Hitler personally attended the ceremony and named the future people's car KDF Wagen after the Nazi organization Kraft durch Freude. The location was chosen due to that organization's investment in the factory's construction, 50 million Reichsmarks. Around the same time, an entire town was being built to house Volkswagen employees. Due to the awkward initial name, Stadt des KDF Wagens, it was later renamed Wolfsburg, which better aligned with the regime's ideology. By 1939, the factory demonstrated its capabilities, releasing the test model 38 and the demonstration 39. Both cars featured updated designs, 2 rear windows, enlarged door handles, and reinforced hinges. However, the KDF wagon never became a mass-produced car due to the outbreak of World War II. The factory shifted to fulfilling major military orders. In 1938, the young company developed the all-wheel drive Volkswagen Typ 62, which after modifications entered production as Typ 82. The body of this military vehicle was made of thin, reinforced sheet metal, equipped with 4 doors, a folding windshield, and a canvas roof. The factory produced over 50,000 units of the Typ 82, which were sent to German troops before the end of the war. In 1940, Volkswagen released the amphibious Typ 128 Schwimmwagen, built on the same platform. The following year, the Wolfsburg plant produced 30 units sent to engineering units, where they received positive reviews. That same year, Ferdinand Porsche was commissioned to develop a modification of the Typ 128. He created the Typ 166 Schwimmwagen with a shortened wheelbase, reduced weight, and improved maneuverability. Production was launched in Stuttgart at the Daimler-Benz plant. Between 1941 and 1945, around 15,000 amphibious vehicles were produced. The bloody outcome of the Third Reich led to dramatic changes in the country, including at Volkswagen. The company came under British control. Wolfsburg ended up in the British occupation zone. In autumn 1945, the British placed an order for 20,000 military vehicles of various configurations. 2 years later, Volkswagen took part in an export fair in Hanover for the first time, drawing public attention. The factory began receiving foreign orders. First, 1,000 cars were produced for the Netherlands, and by 1948, requests were coming in from Belgium, Switzerland, Sweden, and other European countries. At the beginning of 1948, leadership changed. Heinrich Nordhoff was appointed as general director. The new management team was composed of certified engineers with international experience at plants in various countries. With their arrival, Volkswagen returned to the Beetle project. It was updated and adapted to increase domestic sales in Germany. On the 30th of June, 1949, the company Volkswagen Finanzierungsgesellschaft mbH was founded. That same year, the company introduced new body styles, limousine and convertible. The updated Beetle received a more comfortable interior and a partially synchronized engine. Volkswagen began developing a network of service centers and repair shops, actively building relationships with European clients and partners. Thanks to effective management, the company quickly formed a powerful distribution system for its product. By the end of 1948, exports of the model that would later achieve worldwide recognition had reached 50,000 units. Within Germany during the same period, about 15,000 Volkswagen Beetles were sold. By this point, the United Kingdom lost control of the factory, and on the 6th of September, 1949, Volkswagen officially came under the jurisdiction of the Federal Republic of Germany. A new stage of development began. Production capacity significantly increased. In 1972, the Volkswagen Beetle set a world record, surpassing the Ford Model T in total sales and becoming the best-selling car in history. As early as the late 1942, Dutch Volkswagen importer Ben Pon proposed an idea that would define the future of minivans. In November 1949, the first version of the Volkswagen Transporter, also known as the Bully, appeared, becoming the world's first minivan. The model's design was extremely simple, which generated high demand among buyers. Thanks to its excellent reliability, the Transporter quickly gained popularity around the globe. In the first months of production, the factory manufactured 60 bullets per day. From 1947 to 1967, the Transporter was released in various configurations: closed van, combi minibus, pickup, and medical version. With the release of the fourth generation, major changes were made. The engine was moved to the front and the drive became front wheel. This solution allowed for a flat cargo floor and increased available space for equipment. By the late 1942, Volkswagen cars had already proven their long-term reliability, and their affordable price boosted export potential. By the early 1952, Volkswagen vehicles were successfully delivered to 150 countries worldwide. The company actively expanded its dealer network. In 1953, a branch was established in Brazil, in South Africa in 1956, in Australia in 1957, and in Mexico in 1964. Other key markets were also being developed. New projects were evolving rapidly. In 1953, the company introduced the sports coupe Volkswagen Karmann Ghia, based on the Volkswagen 1200 platform. The body design was developed by specialists from the Italian firm Carrozzeria Ghia, and series production was launched at the Karmann Bodywork Studio in Osnabrück. The first production version debuted in 1954 at the Paris Auto Show, and sales began the following year. In 1961, the company's lineup expanded with the Volkswagen 1500, a four-seater vehicle available as a convertible, sedan, and station wagon. Essentially, it was a further development of the Karmann Ghia, and while it didn't break sales records, the model became iconic. Around 350,000 units were sold in various versions by 1974. Interestingly, the Karmann Ghia's design barely changed throughout its production run, even less than that of its predecessor, the Beetle. In 1964, the company introduced the Volkswagen 1600 station wagon, a coupe based on it, and a sedan. A British version with the TFS designation also appeared. Various configurations were produced until 1975. In 1965, Volkswagen's management signed a deal with Daimler-Benz to acquire the Audi brand, forming the basis for the future Volkswagen-Audi Group alliance. Later, the Spanish brand Seat and the Czech company Škoda joined the group. Today, Audi AG is a subsidiary of the Volkswagen Group with its own management structure and the right to make independent decisions. As part of this union, a joint project was launched in 1968, the three-door station wagon Volkswagen 411 and a four-door hatchback based on it. Both models featured an air-cooled 1,600 cubic centimeter engine. However, the market reacted rather modestly to the car, and by 1972, the project was officially closed. In 1969, the company NSU joined the Volkswagen Group. With support from engineers, the brand's first front-wheel drive car was developed, the Volkswagen K70. The model was offered with two engine options, one with a displacement of 1,594 cubic centimeter and another at 1,795 cubic centimeter. The K70 was produced exclusively as a four-door sedan and remained in production until 1975. During the same period, in collaboration with Porsche, a sports car was created, the Porsche 914, a coupe manufactured from 1969 to 1973. The model featured both 4- and 6-cylinder engines. Also in 1969, Volkswagen introduced the all-wheel drive Type 181 SUV, designed for military needs. The vehicle came with a folding canvas roof, reminiscent of the wartime Tip 82. Type 181 was actively purchased by military and government agencies. Production began in Wolfsburg and continued until 1980. From 1971 onward, manufacturing moved to Puebla, Mexico, where the car was sold under the names Tracker and Safari. The 1972nd became a turning point in Volkswagen's history, marked by the launch of a new generation of vehicles. In 1973, the front-wheel drive Passat was released, offered with a wide range of engines from 1,297 to 1,500 cubic centimeter. Just a year later, the lineup expanded with the sports model Scirocco, a three-door coupe powered by engines ranging from 1,093 to 1,500 cubic centimeter. In 1974, the first-generation Volkswagen Golf debuted and proved so successful that 1 million units were produced in various configurations within just 30 months. This achievement cemented Volkswagen's status as Europe's largest car manufacturer. The Golf was available with 2 or 3 doors, and in 1979, the Golf Cabriolet was added, developed by Italian design studio Beetle Design. Earlier in 1972, the model range had been supplemented with the new Volkswagen 412, available in 3- or 4-door hatchback and station wagon version. The car turned out to be unsuccessful. Production ended just 2 years after its launch. Golf's fate was quite different: economical, reliable, and modern. The car revolutionized the international market and became the founding model of an entirely new segment, the compact class. Developing these models required Volkswagen Group to make significant investments. In 1973 and 1974, the group spent over 800 million Deutsche Marks on engineering and design work. However, strong demand enabled Volkswagen to recoup those costs by 1975. Golf remains one of the most produced and successful cars in the world. The second generation was released in 1983, the third in 1991, and continued until 1997. In total, 17 million units of all Golf generations have been sold. In early 1975, Golf's younger sibling debuted the compact front-wheel drive Volkswagen Polo. The three-door hatchback was based on the Audi 50 platform and featured fuel-efficient engines with a displacement of 1,272 cubic centimeter. The model quickly gained popularity and helped strengthen the group's financial stability. Another successful model based on the Golf platform was the Jetta, a four-door sedan built on the second-generation Golf chassis. The Jetta was introduced in 1979 and later became the basis for a new vehicle, the Vento, which joined Volkswagen's lineup in 1991 and continues to be produced in various generations to this day. The Vento was offered with engines ranging from 1.6 to 2.8 liters and power output from 75 to 174 horsepower. In 1981, a new generation of the Passat appeared with the B2 body style, which served as the foundation for the Volkswagen Santana, a sedan for the Brazilian and Mexican market. The Santana became the first Volkswagen model to feature a 5-cylinder gasoline engine with a displacement of 1,994 cubic centimeter. The Santana also demonstrated strong demand and has been released in multiple generations since 1981. During the 1982nd, the Passat went through two successive generations, with the B3 body style becoming one of the most widespread, launched in 1988. In 1991, Volkswagen began production of the third-generation Golf, and the variant station wagon returned to the lineup, including its all-wheel drive Synchro version, equipped with 2.0 and 2.9-liter engines. The third-generation Polo was released in 1994, initially available in 3- and 5-door hatchback bodies. A sedan version was added just a year later, and by 1997, a 5-door station wagon followed. All variants were fitted with petrol and diesel 4-cylinder engines ranging from 1.0 to 1.9 liters, delivering between 50 and 101 horsepower. In 1993, Volkswagen unveiled the Passat with the B4 body style, which remained in production until 1997. In 1996, one of the most successful Passat models appeared, the B5. This version was built on a unified platform with the Audi A4 and A6, allowing the car to use Audi's longitudinal engine layout and more powerful, modern powertrains. The B5 Passat was offered as both a sedan and a wagon. It featured petrol and diesel engines, with 4, 5, and 6 cylinders, ranging from 1.6 to 2.8 liters, and producing between 90 and 193 horsepower. Since 1995, Volkswagen's lineup expanded with the spacious family station wagon Chiron. The vehicle proved so successful that its first generation remained in production until 2010. Initial versions were available in 5- and 7-seat configurations, with additional variants added later. From the start, Chiron was offered with both front-wheel and all-wheel drive, powered by a 2.8-liter petrol engine producing between 90 and 174 horsepower. In November 1999, the group celebrated the 25th anniversary of the compact hatchback Polo. During that time, 6.5 million units had been produced across 4 generations. Even more impressive was the milestone reached in July the following year, the production of the 20 millionth Golf. At the time of this anniversary, 40,000 employees across numerous plants were involved in Golf production, enabling up to 680,000 cars to be manufactured daily. Only 1 million units remained before surpassing the Ford Model T record. At the Frankfurt Auto Show in 2001, Volkswagen presented the new generation Polo. The model became larger and was built on a bigger platform, improving both comfort and handling. The vehicle design followed the brand's current corporate styling. Production included 3- and 5-door hatchback versions. In April, Bernd Pischetsrieder became the new head of the group. With this change in leadership, Volkswagen officially confirmed its intention to release the large crossover Touareg and the flagship sedan Phaeton. The latter was expected to enhance the brand's image and compete with BMW and Mercedes-Benz in the premium segment. The Phaeton was developed in 2 versions. The base model with a 3.2-liter engine producing 241 horsepower, and the top-tier version featuring a 6.0-liter W12 engine delivering 420 horsepower. The most powerful Phaeton could accelerate from 0 to 100 km/h in just 5.5 seconds. Later, the lineup was expanded with a V10 TDI turbo diesel producing 313 horsepower and 750 nanometer of torque. At that time, it was the most powerful diesel engine in the world. The Volkswagen Phaeton was offered exclusively with the 4-motion all-wheel drive system. Among the model's key innovations were air suspension, 8 airbags, a stabilization system, aluminum hood and doors, active front headrests, and a 7-inch central display. The first Phaeton units went on sale in spring 2002 at a starting price of $75,000. In early May 2002, Volkswagen officially debuted the Touareg, the brand's first full-size SUV, marking an important milestone for the company. The vehicle featured impressive off-road capabilities and could not be classified as just a city-focused SUV. Its front design echoed the look of the Passat and Bora models. The rear lights were large, and its massive bumper displayed the Volkswagen emblem. The interior of the Touareg borrowed luxury elements from the Phaeton, leather and wood trim, and a rich set of optional equipment. Under the hood were a 3.2-liter gasoline engine producing 220 horsepower and a 5.0-liter turbo diesel, 313 horsepower. It used the same V10 TDI engine that became iconic for the brand. The Touareg featured air suspension, modern safety systems, and electronically controlled torque distribution across the axles, adapting to road conditions. A differential lock was also included. In autumn 2002, the release of the new Beetle Cabriolet became a hot topic. Even before its official unveiling, the model became a hit, sparking excitement and a wave of pre-orders. The equipment and interior were executed strictly to defined standards without excess luxury. According to plans, annual production volume was set at 50,000 units. A dedicated production facility was built in Mexico for this model. Around the same time, news emerged about a new compact minivan, the Volkswagen Tiguan. The model was based on the Golf platform, though it shared only partial design and styling elements. The Tiguan was equipped with a lineup of modern engines compliant with Euro 4 standards, which would officially come into force only in 2005. One of the model's key advantages was its capacity. In 7-seat configuration, 121 liters of trunk space. In 5-seat setup, up to 690.5 liters. With full interior conversion, up to 1,989 liters. Such spaciousness was achieved with overall dimensions comparable to a standard Golf variant station wagon. In 2002, the Tiguan offered an incredible range of transformation options, movable and foldable seats, second only in flexibility to the Opel Zafira. On the 19th of December 2002, Volkswagen reported production of 22 million vehicles. These models were manufactured at 5 factories, 2 in Germany and 1 each in Switzerland, South Africa, and Brazil. Based on 2002 sales results, the Volkswagen Group became the world's largest automaker, surpassing Peugeot, Citroën, Renault, Fiat, GM, and Ford. In 2003, the company continued expanding its production capabilities. Given the brand's popularity in Ukraine, a contract was signed with the company Eurocar. That summer, production of Passat, Golf, Bora, Polo, and Skoda cars began in Uzhhorod. This move helped the group solidify its position and surpass the milestone of 3,000 annual vehicle sales in the Ukrainian market. The decision was based on 2001 statistics showing Volkswagen ranked 3rd in popularity among car buyers in Ukraine. Since 2006, the company began production of the coupe convertible Volkswagen EOS, and by 2007 introduced the Tiguan crossover. By 2012, the entire Volkswagen vehicle lineup had been modernized, and the brand's geographic reach extended to 150 countries. In addition, the group actively invested in expanding its business in China, the world's 3rd largest automotive market. In 2013, the Volkswagen e-Golf was unveiled, an electric version of the C-segment hatchback that became the most environmentally friendly model in the brand's history. The car featured climate control, capable of cooling and heating while parked. The modern Volkswagen logo is a recognizable symbol of quality. It stands out with its minimalist design, the combination of the letters V and W enclosed in a blue circle. The abbreviation simply reflects the brand's name. However, the emblem hasn't always looked this way during Nazi Germany. The logo was stylized with a swastika and gear-like framing. The next iteration retained the V and W letters within a tooth circle. Only after the war did the logo gain its current form, black letters against a circular background. Today, the Volkswagen Group holds the position of the world's largest car seller, surpassing former leaders Toyota and General Motors. The German group sells over 10 million cars annually, with a profit margin before tax reaching 8%. Plans are underway to invest nearly 80 billion euros into building 10 new factories, 7 of which will be located in China, as well as developing dozens of new models. Among these plans are budget cars priced around $9,000 for developing nations and investments in advanced technologies such as removable hybrid engines and next-generation multimedia platforms. Wolfsburg, founded in 1938 thanks to Volkswagen, now has a population of 123,000 and proudly bears the nickname Volkswagen City. Here stands a massive plant spanning 6.8 square kilometers where 50,000 people are employed. The site also houses the group's 13-story headquarters. The brand's influence is felt everywhere, from cultural events sponsored by the company to the home stadium of the football club, the Volkswagen Arena. Even the Ritz-Carlton Hotel, which hosts VIP guests, is owned by the Automotive Group. Volkswagen's ambitions are most visible in the theme park. Autostat, one of the region's major attractions, built at a cost of $1.3 billion. Every year, 2.3 million people visit the 69-hectare site, touring the iconic Zeithaus Museum. The exhibition features interactive and multimedia zones that showcase the latest achievements in automotive design and technologies. About 25% of all visitors are Volkswagen customers, traveling from across Europe to personally collect their cars from the plant. Completed vehicles are stored daily in two 20-story glass towers that rise above Wolfsburg. Robotic lifts deliver up to 500 vehicles a day from the upper levels directly to their new owner. Autostat serves not only as Volkswagen's marketing hub, but also as a showcase platform for all group brands: Audi, Porsche, Lamborghini, Bentley, Bugatti, Ducati, Seat, Skoda, MAN, and Scania. More than half of the group's revenue comes from premium brand vehicle sales. However, it hasn't been without major scandals. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, claimed that Volkswagen deliberately understated emissions data for its diesel models. Suspected vehicles included the Jetta, Golf, Passat, and Audi A3, equipped with 2.0-liter EA 189 turbo diesel engines produced since 2008. Around 500,000 such cars were sold in the US, with potential fines of $37,500 per vehicle. The total penalties could reach $18 billion, 17 times greater than the record fine once paid by Toyota for concealed defect. According to the EPA, Volkswagen had installed a cheating device in the engine management system, a special program that activated a clean mode when test equipment was connected. The software tracked parameters such as steering wheel position, vehicle motion, engine operation time, and atmospheric pressure to distinguish between real-world driving and laboratory testing. In lab tests, the cars met nitrogen oxide emission standards, but further analysis revealed that under normal conditions, emissions exceeded legal limits by 10 to 40 times. This sparked serious concern. The vehicles turned out to be far less eco-friendly than advertised. Volkswagen was accused of deceiving the U.S. government, its own customers, and potentially endangering public health. What raised particular alarm was that this was not a random error, but a deliberate falsification of data using fraudulent software. South Korea's Ministry of Environment demanded checks on 3 Volkswagen models, while France pushed for a wide-reaching European investigation. The group admitted that about 11 million vehicles worldwide might show discrepancies between lab and real-world data. According to Bloomberg, Volkswagen reserved 6.5 billion euros to address the issue. Meanwhile, markets reacted instantly. Shares of the German manufacturer fell by 38%, and the company's capitalization dropped by 25 billion euros. Despite the crisis, the company remains focused on new heights. Volkswagen now aims to become a global leader in electric vehicles. The group's new CEO proposed a development strategy focused on electric and autonomous transport. The company had fallen behind competitors while it was consumed with mitigating the aftermath of the diesel scandal, as Tesla and Google pushed forward with innovation. Yet Volkswagen isn't used to lagging. The group plans to release over 30 electric models. Management believes it can sell over 2 million electric vehicles annually. A dedicated division was created to develop autonomous vehicles. By the end of the decade, the company plans to launch its own autopilot system that can compete with Google's solutions. Tens of billions of dollars have been allocated to implement this strategy. That's all for now. Drop a comment with the brand you'd like to see in the next video. Like, share with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on fresh and exciting content.